In continuation with the wonderfulness of the Biden administration and their secret police as they go across the nation, even with the George Bush secret police and everything, such as that which has been the way since Harry S. Truman helped with the mental destruction of President FDR so that he could control the United States since he believed it was a full on Roman theocracy. And with everything else that you could use for and look at. The reason why we can't admit that there is a Manchurian candidate is they have found and proven that it was used on FDR. Now, moving right along from this, back to the amendments in the Biden situation. I really do like this little situation where it goes back and forth. You can see the little website there, and you can scroll through the amendments. Granted, it changes all the time. Out there, we can all say that it's revision or something else. But in all this, normally, since everybody wants to say I'm just a snot-nosed kid, because you got that little thing hitting me right about there, so I can, whatever. It's why the other eye falls down. It's computer damage. Wish you could say it was a good fight or something else, but no. Anyway, moving right along with this, they'll just come back and say, that's because you're not a military official and you're really stupid and you don't realize commander in chief means the judge advocate generals, and we're legal now. You just need to understand this. No matter what, you're not legal. You hold arms against the United States of America. You do not come over in any version of an immigrational situation. You will never have your colony recognized as legal. No matter how much you do to our banking system and everything else in order to claim those banks as your own, no matter how much you march around and saying 12,000 can't control 60,000, 12,000 can't control 60,000, then start shooting everybody and bring in your unanimous decisions for your lawyers and mayors and representatives and city councilmen that are not allowed to hold office because of their illegal criminal lineage and history without being deported back en masse with all of your family members and everything else. Personally, I'm like, gas them like they did with the gas chambers and, wood chippers because we're not cannibals and throw them in there. And you can listen to a Japanese person who's still with the Reich, like Al Qaeda is, that we're still fighting, go on about how we're absorbing the souls of them and then just be like, well, you can't argue with crazy, so shoot it. Like the radio disc jockeys say in the morning with everything else. But, moving right along from people who ride choppers and everything else and being like, he actually had a daughter and he might have had sex with it, he might not have, for whatever it is, over how they all say that they're with the tribe of Lot and everything else, and you have to believe them because they're the most inbred. Agree with his philosophies off of the radio. Maybe not so much in his personal situation because he'll just turn on anything out there. He'll say he'll know you forever and everything else, and then just turn on you and say, no, that's really me because you told me too much of your history. Just like everybody else wanting to be whatever it is. But, Philbio's show does pretty good. Moving right along back to basically the war of shooting innocent bystanders, and it's really a family feud for self-sacrifice from the, it was about to be put up for auction. Oh, they willed us their United States citizenship. A thing from the Bruckheimer family reunions that honestly shut down highways and everything else in public boat ramps and require at least several metric tons of dirt to be brought in so that no one can see past the earthen grassy bound mounds of boundaries and stuff. Over to the Alvin America private subdivisions and everything else when they come out. Isn't it just really about killing off those 12,000 people and getting rid of them? Because we can't say in our country that locked up abroad has anything to do with our country because the prisoners have never taken over San Quentin or anything else. But if they were that bad, we'd just let them live in an area, get rid of the local American population, and take over whatever was there and just replace it and be like, nice people. Nice. Nice, nice. It's all your fault, not us. You. Goodbye. Moving right along to anything else with the whole situation over than every single thing out there. So since the Judge Advocate General proves that it's under the jurisdiction of the United States and you convicted me and you didn't kill me, so I'm one of you all, and will take over your country, just like how the Second Amendment's been rewritten. The United States Supreme Court documents are all gone because there's no founding fathers of it or anybody who worked on the legislation. And, basically the Declaration of Independence, no one can really say they're independent because they have allied treaties with other people, and you all speak something similar that one day we'll be able to understand completely. Mostly saying about how the United States has become a Latin language and everything else instead of a Teutonic one, or anything else that was considered British Isles or else Northern. As this is, we just keep looking at it and going, oh, great, more crap. Seriously. Everything with it is just completely ridiculous with this entire situation of these families that have taken over even the police force, because the only reason why that's a good police force here, supposedly, is that it was taken over and replaced by the Third Reich. It's absolutely ridiculous with it, right down to the military and FBI. I would never send anything locally here to it, like they say you're supposed to, and learn to trust these people and everything. You're not supposed to learn to defend these people. My family was taken out and tried, convicted, and gotten rid of because we'd give people directions, we'd do anything else, and they've since mostly been replaced and everything else with people that they could go, they're actually loyal. And it's like, so you said we weren't supposed to deal with these people? And, sell them food or beer or whatever job somebody had, provide greeting cards and accessories or something else. But we can bring their people over if they look similar to us. And it's like, don't worry. They'll say that nothing looks the same because your faces aren't as flat. Your faces aren't as anything. You have sloped foreheads. They'll have sloped foreheads. We never had any of those. Your faces are this or that. You have to have these blood types. You have to have everything out there. And if you complain too much, we'll just make you adopted. And switch everything around. All because, people just keep coming over and keep mass immigration to the United States. But we're supposed to blame the Chinese, which is where this whole day of everything with research and everything started out. Looking at the simplisticness of that there is no research because there is no protection of anything or else standard documents or wordings that we can look at. And whatever that immigrational amendment is up there in the 20-something amendments or anything else with it, and the president can just say, I don't want to have that one in there for enforcing or something else like that. I just look at it and go, completely, this whole thing is just garbage and trash. I mean, someone can try and throw that thing with the Judge Advocate General in and say that it's the legal group that deals with foreign national situations when the appellate court deals with immigration cases and the different levels of circuit court, as well as local courts and others. But at the same time, just because Joe Biden wants to legalize the Reich doesn't really mean he gets to. He's not really a good person. Just like Donald Trump tried everything, saying that the 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment needed to be reworded because it excluded Nazis and stuff. So isn't everything with the Supreme Court justices just being nice to Biden coming in, and he'll be nice to everybody else and be like he knows the senator political situations to grease the wheels for them all to be legal back to Harry S. Truman? Honestly, it is true. But we just might as well just enjoy it because somehow or another there'll be something new put into meat or food to keep us placid and keep us in the right order. It's what we need. Don't ever think about it's what you want or anything else. It's what you need. Like the Rick and Morty show I saw last night, where the Galactic Empire took over, and what was it? They paid everybody in pills. It's coming. Pills are cheaper to manufacture than anything that has to do with real medical healing of a person, just like the president gets, who comes from the common good. Since they all want to mention that removal article, that'll just probably be reworded or something else. It's the new dictionary, kids these days. It's Gen Z dictionary. Come on, man. Anyway, this is Colin Dawson signing off.